it's Friday, right? Little gin and fever tree tonic. Makes the cooking work out just right. Today we are making lobster mac and cheese. We had two 2.5 pound lobsters shipped here yesterday for my birthday dinner, and that's a lot of lobster. We have a lot of lobster left over, so lobster mac. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter into the pan, and we're going to start by making a roux. A roux is when you cook flour with an oil, with a fat, and then you add liquid to it, and it thickens the liquid. So to our 2 tablespoons, we are going to add a tablespoon and a little bit of flour. And then we want to whisk this together, get it all combined. And I have here a whisk. I don't know what it's coated with, but it's coated with something so it doesn't scratch up all your nonstick pans. I really like this whisk for this pan because I don't want to mess this pan up. So you can see what's happening here. It's all just bubbling, and the flour and the butter are becoming completely smooth. There's no lumps. So it's time to pour in 1.25 cups of water. And we'll get this all smoothed out. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit here because that was not hot water. So now we've got our roux kind of diluted and spread out throughout this. So when we add our pasta and our lobster, this will just continue to thicken as it cooks. So now we add 2 cups of milk, cream, some version of milk, depends on how much fat you like. I've used 3/4 cup of heavy cream and 1.25 cups of milk. Goat milk even, which is a little fatty itself. So I'm not going on this is no low fat thing here. It's got lots of milk fat. So we're going to heat this up and get this to a boiling, and we'll come back. So this is just now starting to come to a boil. I don't want it to get to a full rolling boil yet. I'm going to add 1/2 pound of pasta. And what did we choose, Kelly?
It's rotini.
It's rotini.
Rotini.
We chose rotini.
Because we don't have, the exact kind of pasta you might want to use. It's whatever you got in your cupboard.
And we'll use the whisk that is most likely coated with, what's the whisk coated with, Kelly?
It's probably silicone, Mr. Cook.
Ah, there we have it. Now, to this, we are going to add some spices. We're going to add 3/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add some garlic. I do not mind at all using pre-chopped garlic. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. There are times when you want to just do it yourself. But this is probably 3 garlic cloves. I'm guessing. Close to it. And we're going to use some powdered or dried minced onion. And again, a teaspoon or so, not a lot.
You also just buy that in bulk, and that container has just been around for a really long time, so don't look at that container. You're bubbling. You need to stir. Stir.
This is
Stir it down.
Paprika.
Stir it down.
I know. I only have so many hands. So we're going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And that will give it a little bit of a kick, not a lot. And a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And this will get turned down even farther. It's like cooking more than I would like it to.
Scalding is not an option.
But it's, you know, it's still fine. But we want to give this pasta time to absorb some of this liquid. We don't just want to boil it all off. Okay. So this is going to cook for about 12 minutes, and it's boiling a little too hard on this front burner. I don't think I can turn it down enough. So I'm going to move this to a cooler burner so it's just barely simmering. And that'll give the pasta time to absorb some of this liquid and cook. So this has been cooking now for 12 minutes or so. It's the pasta looks like it's done. I think I should probably test one just to be sure here. But the next step is to add in the cheese. And we're going to stir this again until this cheese all gets melted and incorporated into the sauce that we have going.
So, Mr. Cook.
And this is 2 cups of cheddar and a little less than 1 cup of mozzarella. And these are measured a little bit on the heavy pour side because how can you have too much cheese in mac and cheese? It just doesn't make sense to me. So while this is still on the burner, I'm going to get all this cheese melted.
That looks really good. Ooey gooey.
Yep, it's getting there. Let's yeah, that's good. It's a little al dente still, but which means slightly under.
The oven's done.
The oven's hot.
Calling to you.
So I still have some cheddar lumps in here that are not melted. So I'm gonna keep stirring until they do, because we really want this to be everything well incorporated everywhere. So now I am going to put in 1.25 cups of chopped lobster meat. We had a tail or half a tail left over last night and a lot of random pieces. So I cut it all up and it's just going right in.
Oh my God, look at that. We might have to call the ambulance tonight when we both have heart attacks.
So now, it's not that bad. It's got real food in it.
Hold on, coming this way.
We are going to pour this into our prepared baking dish. An 8x8 glass or an 8x8 baking dish would be fine for this. Kelly preferred the ramekin, so we will try that.
Oh, light's too bright. Can't see it. There we go.
Now I can't see what I'm doing.
This is how we work in our kitchen.
Change the light.
There we go, that looks good.
So, we have this all in a baking dish, ready to go in the oven. Turn this middle burner off. I don't use it very much, so I don't know where the control is. So now, we are going to take a half cup of panko and 2 tablespoons of butter. Mix them together. Add some salt. And quite honestly, I want to grab every last little bit of butter I can, so I got that. I'm going to mix this so the panko is all coated with a little bit of butter. That looked like plenty of butter for the job, so I just know we have to mix until it happens. And then we're going to pour this over the top of our ramekin. And let's bring it over here. And then we'll just try and get this distributed over the top. Oh, this looks like it's going to be really, really good.
It does.
Kelly says that her mac and cheese is going to be better than any mac and cheese I can make. So this is kind of a, you might even get a twofer out of this. We might have to see how she makes hers.
Mine has bacon, but that's okay.
Well, we thought about putting bacon in this one, but
We don't want to mess up
we
the
didn't
recipe.
quite get around to it. Okay, so this panko mixture here is going to give us a nice little crust on top of this. And I do believe we should put a little salt on that.
Little Maldon salt?
Little Maldon salt. Maldon salt. And then this is going to go into a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. See what it's like when it comes out. All right, so we've done probably about 20 minutes here in the oven. I've been watching it, and I've been looking for a nice brown top, and I think we're finally there. I think this looks really, really good. And we are going to let that rest for a few minutes outside of the oven.